every single Sprunki plushie that I could find. And let's not waste any time and let's open up this massive package. Okay, which one do I grab first? Let's go ahead and start with this guy right here. Now, I have been reading the comments on the videos, and now I normally call the Sprunkies just based off of how they look, but apparently these guys have like official names. So like this guy's name is Funbot, which is actually a somewhat kind of cool name for this guy. Honestly, I think I would have just said, oh yeah, the robot Sprunki. This plush does look pretty good. The only things I don't like this little hook right here. I hate it when they add these hooks on plushies. I hate this material right here. It's very floppy. Not the greatest, because what can happen is they'll bend over and then they'll get stuck like that. And then I don't know if you guys can see this, but there is like some fluff coming out of the plush, which is kind of lame. But other than that, I will say this plush does look a lot like the funbot Sprunki. Let's go ahead and get to another Sprunki plushie. And it looks like we got, I think this guy's name is Derpal. Now this guy actually looks really spot on. I really like how this guy looks, but one thing I will say is, now how on earth could they mess this up, you know? It's such a simple character to make. I feel like if you were to mess up something like this in order to turn it into a plush, I feel like you probably shouldn't be allowed to touch plushies at all. Now the one thing that it still has is this annoying hook that just makes it look really dumb. I understand why they have this hook. Actually, the reason why they have this hook is actually being displayed right behind me. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little Tire Arcade secret, but this massive plush wall that's behind me, the way that the majority of these plushies are connected to the wall is I have these little metal hooks here. So what you do, you hook the hook to either if the plush has a loop or something else, and then you can just, well, that was a bad example, it just fell. Okay, let's try this again. So then you would just hook it onto something over here, and then ta-da, as you can see, the plush is now hanging up there. And that's how I do it. But let's go ahead and get to another plush here. Let's see, who do we got? This green guy. What's his name? This guy honestly looks pretty cursed. What's going on with this guy? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to say that. Oh, we'll just call him Lime. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but this plush honestly looks really cool. Now I know there's two different versions of the Sprunkies. There's like the normal ones, and then there's like more of like the evil kind of like demonic ones. And this one doesn't look too bad besides the hook. And I am noticing they do have like this itsy bitsy tag that you could just easily rip off if it bothers you. But honestly, I think so far this might be my favorite Sprunki plushie. And if you guys are enjoying the Sprunki videos, make sure to smash that subscribe button if you want to see more. Let's get on to the next plush here, because this package is massive. And here we go, we got another funbot plushie, but this one actually in certain ways actually looks a lot better than this one. The main thing is the antennas. The antennas look way better. They're like actual antennas. But now the one thing I don't like, I'm pretty sure you guys saw this right away, but it seems like his face is like bigger on this side and it's not very proportionate. But if we were to just merge the good features off of this one and the good features off the other funbot plushie, I think we'd have what I'd like to call a perfect one. Next plush up in the bag. Looks like we got a new character. Here we go. And now this character I have actually not gotten wrong. Now this guy is called the Black Sprunki. It's that simple. For this one, they just never made a name, I guess. He is named just based off of his color. Who would have thought? And this guy looks pretty good. Honestly, if it wasn't for that evil looking lime green plushie, I would honestly have to say this one would probably be a pretty close one for first place. Something about this guy. He's giving me like chill vibes. I don't know what it is. Very simple and very good looking plush. Besides of course, this annoying loop, but we'll forget that, okay? Next plush here. See who we got, and okay. It looks like we got the normal version of Derpal. The one we saw earlier was like the horror version. The guy we have up here on the wall. Yeah, there we go. Gonna have them side by side. Personally, I like this one more than this one. I don't know. I think it looks better. I like the purple fabric on this one way more than this one. I think this one is just too light, but again, not that bad. Not that bad. I'll tell you one thing, it could be a lot worse. All right, next plush here. And it looks like we got ourselves a ratty plushie. Now this guy might end up being my favorite. One, because red is like my favorite color. And this guy's just so simple. Although this plush is definitely not the most perfect one. The head has a lot of like weird bumps on the sides. I don't know how well you guys could see some of this. The horns up top, they don't always stay up. I feel like they should have added more fluff inside the horns, because after a while they get knocked around and they don't stay very spiky. But you guys can kind of see right here the little bumpage. It doesn't look right. His head doesn't look like perfectly round. But whoever made this plush, they're definitely going for a bit more of like a premium kind of vibe versus the people who are making like these ones here. These ones here, they tend to be a bit bigger and a bit more fluffy, versus these ones are a lot smaller and they're a lot skimpier. Next plush we got here in the bag, it looks like, I believe this guy's name is Jevin. Now this guy looks cool. I will say the hoodie though, because he is wearing like a hood, I don't think they did a very good job on the hood. I don't know. I don't like how it looks on this guy. I feel like it could look a lot better. I don't know. It is kind of cool though, how you can kind of pull the hood back. That's kind of cool that you can do that, but I wish they would have made it look like there was a hood all the way around when it really doesn't look like that. Like, I feel like if they were really trying here, they would be able to make it to where you could just pull the hood all the way down. I think that would be fire. Again, we'll just forget about the hooks, okay? We'll just forget about the hooks. You know, I'll tell you one thing right now. You know what doesn't have a hook? My very own Logie Bear plushie. There is not a hook in sight on this guy. And if you want your own Logie Bear plushie, make sure to go to tirearcade.shop. I just thought that'd be something that I'd point out. Next plush here. And okay, I believe this one's name is Sky. And oh my goodness, I hate this plush. The way they did it, oh my goodness, it really bothers me. It's too narrow, the head is not big enough. The ears, I will say one thing though. They did a good job on the ears. I hate this little fabric stuff, you guys know that. I hate how it like bends over and it gets stuck. But at least it's kind of covering up the loop that's behind it. I guess that's somewhat of a positive. But what I was saying with the ears, I like how they actually put something in there so they don't flop up and down like crazy. Because a lot of people, they won't put anything in there and then the ears will be flopped over and they never stand up and they don't end up looking like the character they're supposed to be. So I will say they did do a good job on that. Let's get another plush. But when I was making my very own Logie Bear plushie, the two things I was really focusing on is I was, one, trying to make a pretty good high quality plush, and two, I was also trying to get it to a price point that I thought was more affordable for YouTuber merch. Because like YouTube plushies, they're normally like $30, sometimes $35 after shipping. So I was really trying to make it, you know, more affordable than like your average YouTuber plush. But it looks like our next plush here, what is this one's name? This one's name is Gray, is that right? Okay, you see, okay, so this was another one that I got right. So this is a Gray plushie. I believe this is the evil version, as you can see with the little this and that, the little blood stains everywhere. The ears, decent job. They're not flippity floppeting all that much. And this plush doesn't look too bad. I hate this fabric. And as you can see, there's already like a loose string that's just hanging there, which is unfortunate, but I could just cut that off. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know what it is. I love like the more evil version of these Sprunkies. Maybe it's because I like playing like these kind of like games like Five Nights at Freddy's and Poppy Playtime and stuff, but I just like the more evil version. They tend to look like more cool to me. I don't know what it is. But that one, it's a decent plush. Definitely not going to be my favorite. I could tell you that right now. It looks like our next plush. Okay. I didn't know I had a third funbot plushie. I think this is funbot, but this is evil funbot. It's actually kind of funny how I brought up the fact that I like the more evil looking ones, and we get another evil looking one right away. But I don't really like this one. I don't think this one is very good. I honestly kind of hate this design. I really don't like it. I feel like it could be so much better, but it is what it is. I'm not the one making the plushies here. Hopefully, whoever made the Sprunki game, hopefully they come out with some official plushies, because if you guys already know, these are all bootleg plushies, and whenever they come out with official ones, I'll probably buy those as well. I normally do. And here we go. Here we go. I hate these pieces of fabric. Look at that. They just bend everywhere. They don't look very good. Same thing with this part. Oh my gosh. If we would have just fixed this stuff, it would be so much better. But this guy's name is Orin. Kind of close to the name Orange, but it's not. It still does have that dumb little loop, but yeah. They're just so skimpy. I feel like the heads could be more round. This could be better material, and there is no way this plush is going anywhere near first place. Next plush coming in. We still do have a decent amount here, and it looks like we got the white Sprunki, aka Wenda. Now this one honestly reminds me a lot of Gray. They almost look like they could be sisters or something. They look very similar. Obviously, one is a different color from the other. This one is white, but like all the, like the ears, that I guess these are whiskers, I think. It's all pretty much the same design. Not a horrible design, but not the best design by any means. I really can't stand these pieces of little felt or fabric or whatever, because they bend in multiple different directions, and if you have them sitting in a bin or just really anywhere, if you have them laying wrong for too long, they're not gonna look good. You're gonna have to wait for them to flatten out, which is just kind of lame. Next plush coming up here. Hopefully we got something good, and it looks like we got Pinky. Okay, now again, the ears, well done. I mean, they didn't put any fluff in there, right? But however they did it, they keep flopping back up. Now, most of these bootleg plush manufacturers, the ears, they tend to be more on the floppy side just because of how they make them, but not the case for this one. They tend to sit straight up. Now, the bow is decent. Could be better, could be better. But overall, a really good looking plush, especially based off of the character from the game. I will say though, this should be like a little bit of a more darker pink. I think this one is like a little bit too light, but it's not that bad, obviously, besides the annoying little loop here. And guys, leave a comment down below. Am I getting most of these names right? I tried to remember them. Hopefully I'm doing pretty good. Looks like we got maybe like 10 plushies left, I think. And it looks like we got another Pinky, but we got the evil version of Pinky. Now this one is way better. I just like the evil stuff. I don't know what it is, but again, great job on the ears. They are not flippity floppity. They stay right up, which is what you like to see. Face looks pretty good. I will say there is no stitching on here, no embroidery. So it's just like kind of printed on, which doesn't look the absolute best, especially when you compare it to like this. This is embroidered. This tends to look a lot nicer and looks a lot more premium, but you know what? What do you expect most of the time from a bootleg plushie, you know? Don't get me wrong, there's like good bootleg plushies out there, but it's very hit or miss. Very hit or miss. And okay, here we go. We got another Orin plushie, and this one looks like it's a bit more premium. Again, it has this like little piece of fabric here, but you know what? I'm gonna say that one up there honestly doesn't bother me that much. It seems to be holding together very well. Got the little antennas done very well, like actual plush. Nice embroidery on the face. And the face, and the head is also very round, which is very good. This is honestly a really good looking bootleg. This is honestly reminding me a lot of the Ratty plush that we got earlier. I think these ones are both made by the same company because these seem to be a lot more premium than what we've opened so far. All right, next plush we got here. Looks like we got a evil version of Simon. Now this one to me just looks goofy. He just looks happy. Like this doesn't look scary. Like imagine you're sitting in a dark room and then all of a sudden this guy pops up in the corner. Like I don't know about you, but I low-key feel like I'd just be laughing. This guy looks like he cracks jokes. He doesn't look like he does anything bad. But again, you guys know I hate this fabric. This is like too floppy for me. It already has bends in it, which is not good, not what you want to see. And yeah, other than that, it's decent. One thing I just noticed here, there's no dumb loop on this guy. I think this is the first one without the dumb loop, which is honestly really nice to see. This honestly was probably supposed to have that loop too. I bet someone forgot to put it on. I bet that's what it was, but I like it without the loop. It looks more legit. Oh boy, we were talking about him earlier. We got another Ratty plushie, but now this Ratty plushie, the horns are done a little bit better. It does have a dumb loop, but overall this one isn't bad. I am seeing a bunch of fluff coming off of it. I think it's coming off of this plush and not another plush that I had in the bag, but this one, it isn't too bad, but definitely not the best one. I think they did the horns on this one better than the first one that I saw. And if you guys are wondering like what I do with all these plushies whenever I'm done covering this particular game or whatever, for a limited time, I'm actually selling Sprunki mystery boxes. And every box, you get 2 mystery Sprunki plushies and some Tire Arcade stickers. They're available down below for pre-order, so get them while you still can, because once I run out, I'm done. And did I mention those plushies were all seen, held, and even used in Tire Arcade videos, which is honestly something kind of cool. And it looks like our next plush we have here is Bud. This is the evil version of Bud, and he honestly looks a lot like Orin, but I believe his name is Bud. Again, hate this material up here, hate the antennas, hate this. Not very good, facial. Like, I wish this was embroidered. That would look a lot better, but instead it's just printed. Overall, like a very, very low quality plush, and yeah, I mean, even look at the stitching. The stitching is like super duper obvious. Now I understand this now especially. I used to criticize a lot of these plushes, like a lot in the past, for the stitching, but it's honestly really hard to hide it on some plush. And sometimes that's just how it is, but sometimes like when it's this obvious, that's unacceptable. Oh boy, look, we like started the video very early with this guy and we're almost ending with this guy. This guy looks really good. He's definitely one of my favorites. Honestly, I'm saying if you get these plushies, because you're only going to have bootleg options right now if you want a Sprunki plush. If these really annoy you like they annoy me, you could just cut them off. I mean, they're not going to look like perfect, but it's going to look a lot better than just like this random loop hanging. This plush looks good. It looks about as good as the other ones. This guy is definitely going to be up there. I'm honestly really trying to decide what plush is going to be my absolute favorite that I've unboxed today. Got our next plush here. Let's see who we got. And who is this guy? Oh boy, I'm not liking this part though. It looks like this guy's name is Kolker. Very interesting name, but I think you guys already know what I'm going to critique. Oh my gosh, I hate this. I hate this. I don't know how else they would have done it though, so I'm not going to give them too much hate, but I just hate how this material, look, it's all bent up already. And it's only been in its package like this whole time. So if we take this aside, it doesn't look too bad. The loop again is very obnoxious, but when the loop is kind of like, when it has fallen back, it's honestly kind of hard to see. But of course, if you flip it around, you'll see it. But not the worst, but not the best. This guy's definitely pretty close to the bottom. And it looks like we got 3 plushies remaining. It looks like we got the normal version of Bud. This guy looks really cool. I love like the idea of this character. But now the plush version, I don't like how they did the bucket. They could have done the bucket a lot better. It doesn't even look like there's a bucket on his head. It looks like this is a part of his head, which makes him look very, very weird. And why would they not, like the little handle for the bucket here, that's what this is. Why would it not eventually connect? It just disappears. Little details like that go a long way, and they just didn't do it. So, unfortunately, I love this character. The loop is a bit more well hidden because it's like towards the back. And you don't really see it in the front, which is nice, but yeah, it's not gonna do it for me. Next up, we got the evil version of Black. Now, this guy does look pretty creepy. He's got a creepy face on him. Again, the loop is very noticeable this time. No embroidery on this guy, just simple printing. So, not the greatest quality, but yeah. Honestly, I don't know where I would rank this guy. Like 1 out of 10, maybe a straight 5. Maybe a straight 5. We get rid of the loop, maybe like a 7. And then for our final plush, we got the Simon plushie. Now, oh my gosh, why do they have to keep doing this to the Sprunkies? I hate this material here. I hate it. But they keep using it. Hate this, and I hate this. Oh, and they got a little bit of this, but oh my gosh. And honestly, Simon should be a darker yellow. This is a very, very light yellow. I mean, look, we got the evil version of Simon here. This is the true color of what Simon should look like. This is not very bright yellow, which is honestly like extremely unfortunate. But out of all these plushies, I'm honestly gonna have to say, it might be a little surprising, but I think this Orin plushie is the best looking Sprunki plushie that I've ordered. Even though I'm not a big fan of this material, I think they did a very good job on it. And I love the antennas. Antennas are done very well. I love that there's no loop on this guy anywhere. And the embroidery on the face. And you know, you would think that this would be like a more common thing within plushies. Like, why don't they focus on making things high quality? But unfortunately, that's just not like how the world works. But if you guys want to support the channel, make sure to go to TowerK-shop. We're selling mystery plush boxes, Logie Bear plushies, and even stickers. And this is pretty much going to wrap up today's video, guys. And we'll catch you guys next time.